The epochs now do not last 1 billion years, or 18 million years, or 275,000 years. The short epoch is history. The first short epoch is history, and we entered it around 2300 BC. See, this is why I'm not fond of pushing back-ism. The amazing thing to me about humanity is not how there are cities in the Bermuda Triangle that are 50,000 years old, but that how man emerged almost instantly out of the background of a planet covered by forests and populated by animals. Something happened. I mean, it is the thumbprint of God. It does push you almost to the notion of a deus ex machina intervention in the course of nature. We have entered the short epochs. We entered the 4,306-year epoch, as I say, around 2300 BC. There is a hiatus. Pre-dynastic Egypt is the Egypt which built the pyramids. That all closed down around 2400 BC. Then there's a period of about 350 years where we have very little information. I'm talking Egypt. Then suddenly you get the rise of the dynasties and the thing that we are familiar with as the Egyptian stereotype. So I believe that there was a significant cultural change at that point. It may be Julian Jaynes' bicameral mind. It may be the ability to epigenetically code information through writing, to no longer depend simply on the genetic machinery to carry information. I see this whole process I'm describing as the career of information. It is information that is loose on this planet. When people say DNA, they mean information. DNA is the vehicle of the information God, and all nature is the vehicle of the information God, and so is all culture and all individuality. Okay, dividing 4,306 years by 64, you see the need for a 67-year epoch, the next short epoch. And this occupied me for a long, long time, trying to figure out where it began. And then finally, it hit me where it began. It began about 8:30 in the morning on August the 6th, 1945, over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. And at that moment, the Big Bang, its tiny parallelism, its little self in the world of history was born as a thermonuclear explosion, or not a thermonuclear, but a nuclear explosion. And we are now living out that last epoch. Now, why did this push me toward Christianity? Because the next short epoch will only be 384 days in duration. And the one after that will only be 6 days in duration. And the one after that will only be an hour and a half in duration. And the one after that, 2.5 minutes. So what I had done is I had constructed a cosmology that 5 hours before its complete dissolution, it was only halfway to completion. Do you see? Because these rapid closures mean that half of the novelty that the universal being will express in its career of becoming will occur in the last 384 days of time. And so this explains to me the chaos at the end of history, which is what we are living through. And the mushroom has said, many times, no big deal. This is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. There is nothing wrong with H-bombs and super colliding. This is all part of the narrowing neck. Monkeys don't go to the stars, and you must go through the monkey net to find yourself on the other side. But what I'm not talking about a historical transformation in quite the same way that I think Jose and perhaps Peter were indicating. I'm talking about a change in physics, not a change in the human heart or the human political structure. I'm talking about the collapse of the entire space-time continuum as a necessary consequence of the laws under which it operates. And so we are not responsible, and we have no choice. And it's not a question of who wants it and who doesn't, any more than death is open to that kind of fiddling. And in fact, death is the reflection in the microcosm of every individual experience of the wave running down to zero, into the ultimate novelty, which you can call a zero, or you can call the concrescent essence of everything, depending on your ontological bent.